everybody, and happy Thanksgiving from G Bear out here homesteading the desert. It's all to my 3Fs, family, friends, and fans. Anyway, I wanted to show you what I got done this morning already. I got here about 9 o'clock. It's 10:30 now, and I got that whole trench dug. And I already laid the pipe in the first 30 feet up there. So before I buried everything, I wanted to show you where I was at here. And we'll move on up the line here a little ways. And I want to show you, I got out here this morning, and when I was right over there by that first tree in the orchard where the pick is standing, I was hammering that pick into the ground there, and it was like hitting concrete. It was so hard I could hardly move it. You'll see some big chunks of dirt up on top of the mold there. Well, I pounded that pick probably 50, 60 times. And I only moved about 3 feet. And I said, well, you know my old saying, work smart, not hard. I said, there's got to be an easier way. And I don't want to go spend 80 bucks on a ditch witch trencher over at Home Depot and waste 3 hours in travel time. Well, what I did was I came and I got my fence pull auger out here that I'd bought from Harbor Freight over a year ago. This thing has been a great tool for a lot of things out here, setting poles and digging for trees, all that kind of stuff. Well, what I did was I drilled a hole every foot all the way down from there down to the cabin here, or down to the shower, and then I just connected the dots with my shovel. That was pretty easy. What I did in that first 4 feet up there, the time it took me to do that, is about half of the time it took me to finish the rest of the trench. So that's all in. Now you can see that I've got my water line connected up there to the water tank. And I did that because I had to hold it in place. I can take some of the bends out of this pipe and get it laid down inside the trench. And right behind the elbow there, you see the black cover of the filter unit that I worked on yesterday, and I put the new pressure relief valve there, the safety valve in. And I was telling you about problems with pressure. Well, there's what it says right here on the unit there. 50 psi. Excess pressure can result in damage and possible injury. That's what they're talking about, these things blowing up if you get the pressure too high. That's why they have that safety relief valve in there. Well, I'm leaving the rest of the unit off for now because I needed to the epoxy to fully dry, and it said to go 24 hours. So I'll hook that up later on today, probably around dinner time, just before I go in. And once I get that filter on there, I'm all ready to have water brought in. You look at this little tool here. That's a tool that's designed for squaring off the ends of this plastic pipe before you push it into the fittings. Now I've got to find my ABS tape. I've got a couple of rolls of it I always carry with me, but things are in disarray, and I looked in the van earlier this morning and I didn't see it where it was supposed to be, so it might have fallen off the shelf and got buried under a bunch of other stuff. And I've got a load of lumber inside there right now, because later on today I'm going to build a platform with a set of stairs going up right above that water valve that'll get me up 5 feet from the ground, standing on the platform, and that'll give me just about 4 feet up to the top of the tank. So when my water truck comes in, I'll also be cutting a new road here. I miscalculated on the water tank, thinking that the fill hole, or the manhole, was on the opposite side of the valve, but it's on the same side. So now the truck has to come in on this side of the tank. So I'm going to take out this bush and that bush right up there in front, and then I'll cut a new road right through here. And that way he can just come in that road right there, swing right around here, swing right through here, stop, fill my tank, and pull right back on out and head out of here. It'll making it easy for the water guy. I'm sure he appreciates that, and I don't think he'd like to be climbing up and down a ladder leaned up against the water tank. That could slip and things like that, especially when it gets really windy out here. So having a platform where it says stairs going up is going to be a plus. It'll also give me the ease of access when I have to go up there and add chlorine to the water for purification. All right, I'm going to get the line put in and get this trench backfilled and make my final connections. And I'm going to get my ABS tape to tape that brass fitting that'll be buried underground. It's not necessary. It doesn't say anywhere where I have to do that. But I'm just thinking that this soil out here might be a little bit alkali, and it might have a little bit of acidity to it that would corrode the brass after a period of time underground. Although houses all around have been plumbed with copper buried underground for 50, 60 years, and the copper is still there. So I'll just take that extra precaution. No need to not take the precaution. It only takes a few minutes to tape it up. All right, so I'm going to get that done, and I'm going to get my ATV out, and I will backfill this whole trench using the ATV with a flipped over bucket. Just push the dirt in the trench from one side and then push the dirt in the trench from the other side. And then I'll run my drag sled across the top of it all to even it all out. G-Bear, signing off for now.